Alright. So, for episode 50 of this game, it is now time for Pack Attack. And where the venue we are going to is Dust Devil. So, I would imagine there is going to be... Oh, wait a minute. Oh yeah, correction. It was the Castro Robusto. Yeah, that was the vehicle I was thinking of in that previous race with the trucks. I do apologise if I said Varadero, that's this vehicle here. And yep, pretty much used all of my available choices at the moment, so what shall I use next? Well, I've already driven the Drago around the mud pool, so don't think I want to do that again. What about the Thunder Chief? Well, I drove in pink more recently, so... yeah, why not? Let's use the Thunder Chief again. Just because I want to. Ah, the big rig. CB radios, cowboy hats, slide guitar on the radio, and the beautiful open road stretching out before you. And some roadkill. In between two pieces of bread. Keep on trucking. Again, pun intended. Let's see if we can keep on trucking, hopefully. Hopefully we can, maybe we cannot, but we'll just wait and see. Because one thing that's for sure is that most of us are going to be driving on the low lines. And got some buggies and some bikes in this race as well, so this will be interesting, but I think it's doable. Because the big rigs have the superior speed. And a maximum of 15 opponents in this race, as I already activate the boost tanks to already claw up some lost ground on the start because of how little acceleration I have. And I just turned one of the buggies over because I can do that with these things because they're so massive. Oh, what do you know? We have spectators. Above the start line, even though the stripe is not visible. But it's still a start line because, well, that's more or less what it is. As I'm already using up the boost tank early on to keep myself up with the bikes as it stands, and already one of them has just destroyed themselves, as I would have anticipated them to do so. And basically all I have to do from here is damage limitation. That's very much the one thing I need to focus on here. Looks like I just took out one of the bikes with my huge weight, because apparently that is an advantage I have. And keeping myself in contention as I now dive down to the bottom, whilst also not doing a very good job of watching over my boost tank, because I know very well that once I get up to the red zone I'm likely to blow it up. And what? That must have been quite a big rock, if it almost made me flip. I'm going to assume that's what it was, but anyways. Already on attempt number 2, because apparently the big rigs do not do a very good job of getting around this circuit, in my opinion. The big rigs have quite a hard time getting around this circuit, in fact, compared to the smaller vehicles. or at least compared to every other vehicle except the mud pluggers, because, well, they're more or less in similar sizes regarding weight. And the best position I can manage at the moment is 4th, but I am trying to go for the lead. And looks as though I might have to be just a little bit ambiguous by taking the jump if I'm going to keep myself up with the competition. Regardless of knowing how much it's probably not going to work, the truth is, I think it is a risk I'll have to take if I'm going to see myself at least achieving a podium before I manage to go for the race lead. Depends on what my possibilities are. But at least I can say it's not been too much of a challenge for me to run up front. Because my runs up to this point have actually been pretty good considering the circumstances. That was a rock. Okay, I'm gonna destroy myself. Because my vehicle looks like shit. And it is fair to say that this track makes the big rig look like a stump. Basically, a stump in the ground. That's more or less what I think the big rig realistically is. And haha! I make the jump in the big rig! And the sign says I don't use it, but somehow I did. So, I think it's fair to say that jump is probably where I can find most of my time. And I might as well use the ramp as well, just because I want to see if I can put this to the test. And indeed I can. So, up to 2nd position now. Just got one buggy ahead of me. As we now begin the last lap here at Dust Devil, trying to see if on only my 2nd attempt I can go for the win. I do manage to take the lead following one of the jumps on the rocks that caught out the buggy that was ahead of me. It's basically the speed that's keeping me in this race, even though this course is clearly not made for big rigs. The mud pool is, but this one certainly isn't. This is anything but a perfect match for the big rig. And certainly a long race as well, because of the short acceleration times this thing has. And not going to make the same mistake twice. Managing to stay away from the rocks this time, compared to previously when I attempted to plough right through it. Fortunately, I was able to avoid it under the circumstances, and now I'm going to make the jump once again because I've noticed this is a doable task, and I might as well do it again whilst I am here. Because this is how I can find most of my time on the circuit, and also how to win at this circuit, since this is technically one of the biggest circuits in the game. I think, as far as I know, Sidewinder Gulch is the biggest circuit, and then I think it's followed by the Tenderizer, and then Dust Devil. Oh, okay. Oh, come on, come on. Yes! Victory! The Thunder Chief wins the battle. And hopefully after the next event I will have won the damn war. And I can only imagine what exactly the post-race conference will be like. You may have won the battle, but you didn't win the damn war. That's probably what I think the second placed guy or gal is probably going to say to me. But still, I really had to push the boost tank to the absolute limit if I was going to pull that off. I didn't think I was going to do it initially, but then once I started taking that crucial jump, everything started to fall in line. Basically fell in line, and it fell in line at the right time. But yeah, it is fair to say the big rig is definitely not caught out for a circuit of this sort, is what me thinks. I need some water after this, because these races are really causing my voice to dehydrate because of how much commentary I'm giving. Okay, I think that should do it. So it was Reza Shadmahar who finished in second, and then we had Free West rounding out the podium in the BLC Buggy Caravan. Then in the second of the big rigs and fourth we had Jane Doe ahead of Anju. Mabe was sixth ahead of Johnny R in the Varadero, followed by Maka. Wilson then finishes ninth in the Viking ahead of Cassell, Baxter, Maelstrom. Lizzie Gripping was the last of the big rig finishers in 13th. Then we had Rachel Norton ahead of Daddy Forley, who was 15th and last. And hopefully, if it's possible, I have managed to get a reasonable shot of the Thunder Chief. And yay, we've now unlocked a new bike. Awesome. And we now have just one event left on this ticket. Rough Diamond. Let's finish ticket number 16.